Wake up in the morning, feeling the weight of the world on my shoulders. I wanna move closer, but I don't control it. I know I've been trying, the door isn't open. I know it sound funny, but really though, in the beginning we really close. Now we just cruising up on the coast. Don't wanna lose you, I really don't. My God, I'm working so hard. I let my guards down and I'm feeling so far. You won't cut me off and I'm ready to grow and I'm ready to know you more. Please, I honestly say I'm mature. It ain't my decision, it's yours. But I will persuade with my all, cause I'm ready to run to your arms. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I'll find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored. I go back and forth when I feel your presence. I'm above the world, there isn't much better, but then I fall levels and levels below it. Don't know where I'm going, don't know where I'm holding. I say I gave up, but I know I didn't. It's just my frustration, I'm only human. I act like I know what I'm really doing, as long as it's you that I'm really choosing. I will never give up, no, I wanna do it your way. You're the king of the world, only wanna do what you say. I know that it's possible to give back my heart to you, do it that you choose. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored. I know that you love me, I really do. Just wanna do right by you till it's through. Please don't ignore me, please just adore me. Wanna be closer to you. I just wanna make you happy. A shining light looking right at me. I give to you gladly, that's my reaction. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored, then I'll be adored.
Okay.
Now, from the MITM Business Consultants comes Man in the Middle, your one-stop shop for financial tips and tricks that big banks and corporate America won't teach you and don't want you to know. Discussing the latest and greatest products, services, skills, and habits to grow and support the financial needs of your business and you. Giving you the knowledge to help make your own important choices for your business and you. Disclaimer: Man in the Middle expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, reliance on, or inability to use this podcast or the information presented in this podcast. Now, here is your Man in the Middle, with 10 years of experience in the financial and banking industry, Art Abrahamian.
What is going on, everybody? Episode 27, Man in the Middle. Today's episode is called Rated the Best. I'm here with my man, K-Doze, a.k.a. Kendall.
Sir, yes, sir.
What's going on, Kendall?
We're back in full effect like we never left.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here with
Well,
the man in the middle.
That's it.
Rated the best.
That's what today's is about. And I want, before we get into it, I want to say thank you to everybody, because without you guys, this award wouldn't be possible, because we wouldn't have people to give the service to, honestly. So this is just as much a win for all of our clients as it is us. We're proud to be the best of Palm Desert's 2024 through business rate, and it's a big milestone for the company because we were the baby. We were the baby out of everybody. We've been here 4 years, but from finances, as a finance company and a business company goes, we were the baby. Everybody here has been 20, 30 years, and I made you my BITCH. That's it. Next year, we're 24 winner. We're going to be 25's winner. We're going to be 26's winner. We're just going to keep it going because that's it, baby. Once you get a taste of that victory, we can't let it go.
Because all we do is win, 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 no matter what.
Well, before we get into it, let's say thank you to our sponsors. I want to thank USCCA for being a sponsor of the channel. And before we get into it, go and play a video of theirs. If you want to know more about USCCA, click that link in the description below, and we'll get into it.
It's in our nature to protect the ones we love, to stand up to any danger, to be strong and courageous, to always be prepared, to keep our family safe, to be the first line of defense. We are born to protect.
Always good seeing USCCA as a sponsor of the channel. I don't know what we're talking about today. That's part of the thing that we do. Kendall comes in and he picks the topic. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, every podcast is going to be treated as if you are one of the clients coming in for the first time. So I don't really know what you are going to ask. And that's kind of when Kendall was like, how do we do this? I said, well, I want you to just come to the day of. I don't need any prep. You can do all the prep you want. But for me, it's like whatever it is what it's going to be. So tell us what we're talking about today.
Basically, my job is to drill the living out of you with these questions. But today, people out there on my potential people to become clients or to just learn about how to boost their business. The reason why I titled this Rated the Best is if you take a look at this award that our guy Art here just attained not too long ago here, we're going to talk about pretty much how he was able to get this in such a short period of time, the kind of work it takes to be able to get an award such as this. And it's so fitting because we took a little break, a couple weeks off, and now we're back. And while we were gone, he gets this award, this immaculate, amazing award. So we're going to talk about this a little bit and talk about also the things he had to do in order to attain this and what you can do out there, business owners, to not only just attain an award, but to have your business rated the best in whatever field that you're in. So I'm excited for this, Art. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So first, let's get into it, man. How do you think you were able to attain this award in such a short period of time?
So it's so funny. We say short period of time. I'm like, damn, 4 years isn't that long, but it doesn't feel like a short period of time, too, because it's a roller coaster, right? Like, there are ups, there are downs, and there's a lot of lows and there's a lot of highs, right? And that's life, I feel like. That's just not just business, that's life. Like, there's going to be highs and lows, and it's just about how you navigate the waters and how you circumvent issues from getting worse. I think whenever we talk about, like, trying to be the best in anything, I never was competing for this award. That wasn't the point. I was trying to compete with myself. how can I be the best version of me? And I feel like once you get to the point of you're the best version of yourself, the people around you will see that. The clients around you will see that because you're doing things with the utmost integrity, the most ethics, and the most focus on service, right? And for me, I always say money's important, but if it's the only focal point you have, you lose sight of why the vision of what you started was for what you started. Now, if you started something for the sake of money, then great. You be the best version of that money that you can be, but you may not be recognized for more than just the money. And that's, I think, when you start a business or when you try to achieve something, it's like, I didn't do this business for the money. I did this business to take over the valley. And what I mean by take over the valley is provide the best service, provide the best relationships, provide the most trust, and provide all the things that somebody would need so that if they were either an existing business or a new business, that they could come to one-stop shop and get all these things situated. And I pride myself in that because there were a lot of opportunities where I could have made more money than I did, but I chose not to because it was best to just focus service than it was money. And, you know, it's about what we talk about is I'm building something that's going to outlive me, right? I don't need this business to go really well. And then when I'm gone, it's gone. I need this business to outlive my expectation.
You know, I want to go back to what you said just about a minute ago about ethics and integrity, right? There's a lot of businesses out here. They have a very quick rise, a rapid rise.
And they have a hard fall too.
Have a hard fall. It usually comes back to integrity and ethics.
Right.
So let me ask you, you know, I guess for lack of a better way of asking, what made that so important to you? Because I've heard you say that just in personal life, just you and I talking. I've heard you talk about integrity, business, ethics, and still kicking ass at the same time.
Yeah.
So why is that so much more important to you than the almighty dollar?
Well, because it's like priorities, right? Like it's like a relationship. You could have the most beautiful person. In my case, I'd be dating a woman. I could have the most beautiful woman on the planet, but there's more than just her beauty, right? And that's how I see a business. You'd be the most profitable business that exists, but that's all you are is your beauty. And then it comes down to, if you're trying to compare it to real life, can I start a family with this person? Can I have kids with this person? Can I leave town and not worry that this person's with another person? You know what I mean? And that's how I treat my business. I say this all the time, and our clients know this. When we talked about this, the 2 surgeries that I had, right? Like I was gone for 16 weeks. 16 weeks from February to July. Between the 2 surgeries, I had February 14th, the first surgery, July 17th, the second surgery. It was 8 weeks then, 8 weeks after. So it's from 16 weeks, between there, the business didn't fall, the business didn't crumble, quality didn't go down because I created something that I could trust. I found something that I could, what was I trying to accomplish? What was I trying to create? I wasn't looking for the most beautiful girl in the room. I was looking for a girl that had a little bit of everything so that it wasn't just one-sided coin of like, oh, this is all you got to your name is money or a face, and if you treat your business like that, then it'll continue to be as successful as you need it to be. And that's truly how I feel. It's like, I don't want a business to just be successful. I don't want a business to only be good at customer service. I need to be all of these things in one in order for people to build that trust where it's like, wow, you're there when we need you, so you're reliable. We can trust you with money, so that's good. And we know that you chose to, I gotta figure out why he keeps doing that. You chose to do what's right for me and not for you. Right. And what I mean by that is for me as in the client. If I was the client, I do what's right by the client, not what's right for me. Because there's a lot of deals. And all of our clients listening have heard me say this, where it's like, of course, I would love for you to pick this one because I'm going to make the most money if you pick this one.
Right.
But it's not right of me to tell you to pick this one because I feel like this is what's best for you. And it's just about transparency. Like the people we do business with and the people that you choose to do business with when you open your business, they're not stupid. So don't treat them like they're stupid. They're not kids. They're adults. They've been around the block. And when you treat people with that respect, where it's like, I know you know what you're talking about. you've come to this point this long, you've seen a thing or two. I'm not going to treat you like a child, but I'm not going to worship the ground you walk on either, because you're just a person at the end of the day. And as long as I treat you with the utmost respect and integrity, you'll do the same to me. And that's really just what it is like prioritizing what's important to you and understanding that you wouldn't pick a person for only one quality, so you shouldn't build a business for only one quality.
That's amazing, man. And it's great to know that everything that you said has something to do with having good character. And there's a lot of people that believe that it's hard to have good character and develop a thriving, growing business. So let me ask you, like, and you kind of answered it already, but say the same thing again if you have to. I asked you how you were able to do it earlier. Why do you think you got this award?
I mean, I got this award because I prioritized the client. And I was recognized for prioritizing the client. And going back to what I said, I built this for the people, not for myself. And putting them first has allowed me to get the recognition that we deserved for putting clients first. And I don't think a lot of other places can say that they put their client. I mean, they can say it all they want, but their actions don't speak as well as their words do. So it's like when I say I put the clients first, I put the clients first. I'm the one that chooses to go out of my way and do all these things, put in extra effort, put in extra time, not get compensated for that extra effort or time, but because it's the right thing to do and because I'm trying to build lifelong relationships with these clients so that my kids and their kids will continue the generation of we work together, you know, so that 3 generations down the road, their great-grandpa and their great-grandpa will started this company together and work together. And they continued. And another business that actually does that, believe it or not, In-N-Out is a great example of that. So In-N-Out typically tends to work with a lot of its vendors that they have worked with for generations. And I know this because one of my clients owns the bun manufacturing company for In-N-Out. And the families have been in business together for a long time. The husband has since passed on, but the wife is the one that and the family run the business going forward. But the bun company that does it, and they work with other vendors too, but In-N-Out is their most like prominent member. They'd been in business together for like decades, since like the 50s, 60s. They'd been working together. And sure, some other company fly by night could come in and say, we can do better. We can get you this. We can do that. It's like, I'm not trying to save 10 cents a bun when I have a relationship of decades with this person. So, that is a great example of like, they both got successful together. And the more locations that In-N-Out created meant more business for the bun company. And because their families have worked together, as the original owners have passed on and the kids have taken over and the nieces and the nephews and the uncles and the this and the that and the cousins, they have not changed those key elements because that's what made their business successful.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
That's it.
I mean, just keep it going. I mean, again, the key word you said there was a relationship. You have a client, you want to build some type of relationship with that client so you can understand their needs and be able to deliver on those needs. So, first of all, man, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
To you, man. You really deserve it, man. So, it's a beautiful thing to really see, something like this happen for you this early in the I know this feel like it's a short time for you.
I know.
But
It's
but it is, to be usually they say like 5 years is the mark where you kind of you're already getting something like this already.
Yeah.
And it's because of that integrity, your ethics, and how you really care about your clients. You want to see them grow. So it's an amazing thing, dude.
I'm proud to say that a lot of our staff is the same way too. We have Joyce who does all of our appointment bookings, and she's been with me since day one. We have Grant on our bookkeeping team who, have these employees made mistakes? Of course they have. But the difference is they may have made mistakes, but their character follows suit. They built relationship. That's one of the first things I told them is this is about relationships. Doesn't matter if you mess up because the relationship overcompensates for any mess up you could have. But it's relationship first. Business, I know it sounds weird to say relationship first, business second, because business is always top priority, but it's just one of those things where it's like business is important, but the relationship comes first.
Have you ever had any clients that come to you? Now we're kind of more transitioning into the actual questioning of the show, guys. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, because you're going to get some gems. You already got some already, so make sure you guys go ahead and do that. So have you ever came across a client, right, and that they sat in this chair with you, and you realized through that interaction, you know what, it's not going to be a good fit?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
For me. So
all the time.
Well, what are the things that you're looking at to kind of determine that?
Well, I mean, going back to, I think our camera froze here. Going back to, you want to go back to that? Let's just make sure that works. Okay, that froze. Go ahead and switch, and then just unplug that, replug it in.
Gotcha.
The blue cable there. Anyways, I'll answer this question while you technical difficulty. Yes. The question being, yeah. So the question was, was there a customer that sat in front of me that I just knew wasn't going to be a good fit? Of course. I mean, like, there's always going to be that person where you're like, was this a good fit? At the time, it might have been, and then it may not have been after the fact. And it might be vice versa, where it's like it wasn't a good fit in the beginning, but it might be a good fit, towards the end. One of the things to really take into account is what's the person in front of me trying to accomplish, right? Like if they're just coming to me for the cheapest price, you're not coming to the right place. I always pride ourselves in saying we're not the most expensive place in town, but we're one of the best, right? And now I can say, when I say that, I have something to back it. And I think that's the best part, because I've always believed that. But it was one thing where it's like, did you unplug it? From the camera too? Mm-hmm. Turn it off and on. It's one of those things where it's like you believe it, and you believe it in your heart of hearts, and the person in front of you can see that you believe in that. But there's also a level of like, okay, well, I believe it, but do other people see it? And if other people don't see it, then maybe they're not the right client for you. Because at the end of the day, the way you have to look at it is, what about this business am I trying to offer to the public? And we get this a lot, where it's like people come to us and they're like, oh, I could get this same service for like $60. Okay, well, that's $60. But why are you here? If that service is that good, then you wouldn't have been here, to begin with. So the way I see it is, if you want people to respect the work that you do, they have to understand the value that you provide in that work too. So if you are sitting in front of someone and you can just automatically tell that it's not going to give you the service, or they're not going to appreciate the value of service you're giving, and then they're just trying to compare you price-wise to one of the worst companies they could come from, and they're complaining about it, but when you give them the solution, oh, that's too expensive. Cool, so then you don't care about your business as much as you think you do. That issue doesn't bother you as much as you think it does. So if you don't care about your business, then I'm not the right person for you, because I can't care about your business more than you care about your business. So keep enjoying that $60 a month, and then I don't want to hear you ever come back here and complain that you're not happy with their service, because you actively chose to stay there now. You get it's that whole like, first time, shame on me, second time, shame on you. You didn't know any better. You came to someone else and you're like, this is what I can do. Oh, that's great. That's exactly what I needed. Great. This is what it's going to cost. Oh, it's too expensive. So you don't like it, or you do like what you have? I hate what I have. Cool. So at that price point, you're getting what you paid for. I remember I got taught good service isn't cheap, and cheap service isn't good. And that's just what it is. Like, I'm not the cheapest. Don't come to me if you're looking for the cheapest price. I'm not the most expensive, but what you pay, you get double the quality for what you pay.
That's to me, that's that's so essential, man. Like what you just said, because how many times have you gone to a place and let's say they have cheap food or a cheap cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You got a cheap cheeseburger, and
I'm gonna try to fix this live cam while you're talking. Hold on 1 second.
for sure. That thing tasted cheap. The meat tasted cheap. The cheese
There we go.
tasted cheap. Everything tasted cheap.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and you're getting you paid $139 for this cheeseburger, and it tasted like $139.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of going to somewhere like In-N-Out, you pay a little bit more.
Yeah,
but
$6.
damn,
$6 and $2 and $6 isn't that crazy of a
It's
difference.
not.
But the quality sure as hell
Great.
changes.
Definitely. Again, we apologize, guys, for a little technical.
Yeah, we have a new camera. If you
difficulties.
guys can't tell, the quality's way
Yeah.
better, but we're just trying to figure out why it got frozen there. But no worries, we're back. We got it figured out. So you know what I did, right? I went to that video capture device and I just clicked the thing to change the place.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that's really the answer to that question. Like the person sitting in front of you, they have to be a right fit. And if they're just not a right fit, then it's not for you. You have to know what you can provide, and you have to know. I've had people beg to be clients because we just don't want them. And I kid you not, like I'm not being facetious when I say like beg me, please give our company a chance to work with you.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna work.
Give us a chance to pay you.
No, it's just not going to work. And I can tell. And where it's like, I don't need somebody who's emotion over clarity, right? And that's the thing too, because it just becomes difficult. It becomes difficult as a business owner. It's already hard enough to navigate the waters. I don't need somebody muddying the waters to make it worse. And I know what I'm looking for in a client, and just like what you're looking for in service, those two pieces have to come together. Because I'd rather not make the $1,000 a month or whatever amount of money that your particular business needs to be charged to get the services you need than have a constant headache. Because my time's worth more to me than the money too. And that's when we talk about financial freedom, where I'm like having a choice, that's why I have financial freedom. Because I'm not locked to the money. Because I chose, and we talked, Roy and I talked about this in Parents and Pennies in the first podcast, where it's like, if you budget yourself properly and you just know what your bottom dollar is and everything beyond that bottom dollar is all gravy, then you don't care. I don't mind if I lose $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month client. Because if they're not the right fit, then it's just not the right fit, because it's just what it is.
And that's a powerful position to be in.
Yeah.
Very powerful, because we know that money is not going to be the issue. Fit
Right.
is the issue. I know I can help you, but can you accept my help?
Right.
Can you really accept it?
Right.
If I tell you, you know what, you're going to have to not do this anymore for your company to continue to increase in revenue. And they said, well, no, this is, I like doing this. Well, what you like doing is detrimental to your business and your bottom line. So
Yeah.
you might want to listen to me. Now, it's all about being coachable, right?
It's about being coachable and having a sense of humility. We talk about it in almost every podcast. You have to have a sense of humility and being humble, because it's like you don't get to walk around saying you're perfect. Nobody's perfect. No business is perfect. Even the billion-dollar Fortune 5 companies are not perfect. They have their faults. The only difference is they have investors behind them. They have these private equity companies pumping money into them. But then you really think about it, do those companies give a damn about their customers? No, they care about their shareholders.
Right.
And that's the problem with corporate America, is that the corporations are being funded by foreign entities in these private fund accounts where, okay, now we have foreign entities owning most of the major companies in America through all these shell companies. And do the companies give a damn about their customers? No, because they're important. Their sole purpose in life is to make their shareholders happy so that their shareholders continue investing money into their company. And in return, the CEO of those companies will continue to make millions and millions and millions of dollars in stock options every year. And as their company grows, because they're choking everybody that they work for, they're choking all of their employees, they're choking all of their customers, their stock value goes up, and it makes all of the richest people who are vested in it richer. I am not that company. I am not owned by the Chinese market. I'm not owned by the Russian market. I'm not owned by any market other than I'm not even on the market. I provide a service. That service has a certain connotation that comes with it because it's coming from my office. Anything I do has to be quality. I don't half-ass anything. I'm okay losing money because I don't answer to anybody but two people, God and myself. And that's it.
That's what we call a gym right there, people. That's a gym. And again, it's powerful. It's a powerful place to be in because when you're just driven by money, I'm going to say this. You can correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a company that's just driven by money, if you're a business that's just driven by money, it's hard for you to get something like this.
Yeah, and then the reason you're getting it is because you're getting volume over quality. You know what I mean? It's like some of their awards that they win are volume awards. You sold the most. It's like, okay, well, you have such a big market share. Of course you sold the most. But it speaks wonders where it's like, like smaller banks tend to win awards is a great example. Smaller banks tend to win the award of like best place to work. You know what I'm talking about?
Right, yeah.
Like U.S. Bank and all those smaller banks. Like I know U.S. Bank's a bigger bank, but in the world of big banks, it's not one of the top boys.
Right.
You got your main three, Chase, Wells Fargo, B of A. And then you have like your foreign banks, which is like HSBC and some other ones. And Chase and B of A are international banks too. But then you go to like small banks like Pacific Premier and U.S. Bank, and they're like they're touting awards. And what are the awards that they're touting? Like best place to work, good company culture. And that's because they don't have the same like aggressive, we sell no matter what. We sell until they die. You remember that scene in Wolf on Wall Street where Jordan Belfort's like, we either sell until they die. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's the mentality that these big banks have. So they'll never win the award for best place to work, but they don't want to win that award. Because their shareholders don't give a damn.
They don't care about that.
They don't care if their employees like where they work. They just want to know you shove this product down their throat until they buy or die. Just like how they say in Wolf on Wall Street. Like, that movie is so funny because it is so true.
Yeah, that's facts.
It is all facts. That industry, the finance industry, is literally shove it down their throats until they buy or die.
There you go.
So, but then that's the thing. It's like, it's great that employees want to work there. But are those employees good at what they do? You see what I'm saying? Like, even when you win an award, you're just like, okay, but they're good at this. But I don't work there. So that award means nothing to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, as a customer, I don't care that everybody likes working here. Right. That's good in the sense of, like, everybody here likes their job, but that doesn't mean that you're going to provide me the quality that I look for. So even every award, it has its downfall too, where it's like, until you walk in there where you see the award, then you're like, okay, I get it. This person deserved that award. You know what I mean? But then it comes down to, like, what award did they win? Well, it's the best place to shop on Friday. But what about Monday through Thursday? Yeah. You know what I mean?
So you mean it's trash to shop there Monday through Thursday?
That's the way I see it. So for me, it's like, because we've won a bunch of other little awards where it was like best in this, best in that. And I'm like, but that's nothing to me. Because it's like, it doesn't, I want best of this area, best of. That means I beat everybody in every little factor of it, right? So it's like, I'm grateful for all the little awards, but I look at them as if I was walking into a place and I'm like, okay, these awards are great, but best place to work. I don't work here. So this award means nothing to me, dude. Can you do what I need you to do?
Right. So then why is this one important to you?
Because it's best of the area. It's best of. It's not, we have a good staff, but the rest of us aren't that smart. It's not, people love working here. You know what I mean? It means when you come here, you're going to get the relationship, you're going to get the quality, you're going to get the trust, you're going to get the things that everybody looks for in the finance industry that's disappeared. Because those things don't exist anymore because it's all about bottom dollar. And when I took bottom dollar away and realized there's more people like us than there are shareholders, and I get it, the shareholders have more money than people like us.
Right.
But there's one thing that those companies have lost, and it's integrity. And that's one thing that we'll never lose is our integrity because we're not money driven. I just need enough money to keep the thing afloat. And even in the beginning, when there was no money coming in, I kept it afloat. So it's like, it's gotten to a point where it's like, it keeps itself afloat. So what we're going to push now, quality. We're doing all these shows, the podcasts, this Parents and Pennies things. We're building classrooms. None of that stuff has paid us. But why are we doing it? Because it's what the community needs. It's us trying to expand the horizon of the community that doesn't have the resources or the time. And if they can do it through things like our classroom, if they can do it through things like our Discord, if they can do it through things, like these podcasts, and we've made an impact on the community. And that's all that matters. And I don't need money for that because I know, just like when I started this thing, if I put passion into it, money will just follow.
That's amazing. And when you think about just some of the great people, whether if it's in finance, the great people who are actors and actresses, musicians, all of them start because of passion.
Right. And they get corrupted by fame, wealth, and drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, all those things happen. But those who are not corrupted by those things, you can tell, you can see it. You know what I mean? And again, man, I want to just congratulate you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
This. I'm happy for you because he did make everybody his bitch, y'all. He sure did. See, y'all don't see the art behind the scenes.
Wait, how is art behind the scenes? You mean
savage?
No, they get to see that. See, that's the thing. They see that. All my clients will tell you they see that every day because I'm not fake with them.
It's true.
I'm just as much savage with them when they come in here. I'm like, that's a stupid idea. We're gonna put that. You remember that scene in Bad Boys where he's like, we're going to put that in this jar, we're going to close it and bury it and never bring it up. I do that with my clients. I'm like, I love you. Stop. That's stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've heard you say all week. And you know why we can have that conversation? Because we built that relationship where they know their best interest is at heart. I have their best interest at heart. And that means you didn't come here for me to agree with you. You didn't pay me to be your yes man. You paid me to tell you when you're doing dumb stuff. And right now you're doing dumb stuff. And it's about pulling people back in because a lot of the times excitement gets the best of you, right? That's the biggest problem is like business ideas. I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about dreams where I say it's easy to dream. It takes no effort. You just close your eyes and it comes to you. But then when you wake up, what are you going to do about that? Right? And that's the thing with business ideas is everybody's got one. I can't talk to you about it. Why? Because somebody will steal it. Okay. So why'd you even bring it up? You know what I mean? You've already lost me if you start that way. And it's like, why would I steal your business idea? Like, I don't think you understand. I told a client this yesterday. It's like, oh, if you like this so much, how come you don't do it? And I'm like, dude, if I opened every business that I liked, then this business wouldn't exist. Right. And then I'd have a million businesses that are all half-assed because I'm putting all my time and attention into opening all these businesses. Like, I may like the business, but that doesn't mean I want to be in that business. So there's also a level of like, it doesn't matter if people know you want to do it. And just because you have a great idea, you're acting like if you make that idea, nobody can come along and slightly change what you're doing and do it themselves either. I mean, like, it just doesn't make sense, right? So there's a level of like, oh, this idea is so great. Okay, good. It's so great. What are you going to do about it? I don't know. I got to go to work. You know what I mean? I don't have time to do it. I got to go to work.
That's a good segue because that just made me think of something. So as someone like me, I have a job. You know, I work every day, I put in a lot of hours. So let's say someone like myself, I want to start a business. What would you say would be the first thing I need to start thinking about if I'm going to start a business?
It's when you're going to find the time to do it.
Mm.
You have to make the time. It's like a relationship. You will only get in, you'll only get out what you put in. And you wanting to do it is great. You dreaming about it is great. I love you. That don't mean nothing. It just doesn't. It's easy to dream. I'll close my eyes right now and I'll have a dream that I'm 6 feet tall. But you know what happens when I open my eyes? I'm still short as hell. But being short, I can't really fix.
Right. But
wanting to be a business, I can do something about that. So what am I going to do? I can't stand, and this is like, I have friends who are always complaining about not having money. Oh, I just need more money. And then you'll be like, hey, do you want to work this? I don't like loaning money to people. Mm-hmm. However, I will offer you to work for the money. So if you're like, oh, I need $100, cool. I'm not going to give you $100, but I'll pay you $20, but I want you to do this for 5 hours. Or I'll pay you $25 an hour, but I want you to do this for 4 hours. No, I'm good. Cool. We call those baby birds. They just want me to chew money and spit it in their mouth. And they don't want to put in work. I respect people that are okay putting in 30 hours of work, 20 hours of work. And I know I'm going to get, that's a thing. I don't want to work for 20 hours and not enjoy myself and my mental health and this and this and this. It's like, look, I get it. Mental health is really important. I say that all the time. But you don't get to sit there and complain that you don't have something. And then when somebody's like, well, the solution is not crying about it. The solution is doing something about it. And if that means doing it for yourself, if that means doing it for someone else, if that means picking up more hours, and you actively choose not to do that, then you don't get the right to complain about it anymore. Because all you want to do is just yell to the mountaintops how you're not getting what you deserve. And then when somebody's like, cool, so let's compare somebody who's getting what you want to you.
Let's look at the amount of hours that they put in.
Let's look at what they're doing. Let's look at their mental health.
Right.
And I get it. Like, you need a break. Sometimes you need a break. But then there are those people who are like, oh, I can't do it on my mental health day. Oh, I can't do it. I feel like crap today. It's like, dude, I feel like crap every day. And if I chose to just not work because I feel like crap every day, guess what? I ain't got clients. I don't have a chance to win something like this.
Right. More gems, y'all. More gems. And it's true. It's true. It's you got to be willing to put in that work. Like,
it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's life. If you don't put work into life, you're not getting anything out of it. And sitting there, woe is me, I wish. I wish a lot of things too, man. But there's things that I wish for that I can actively do something about. Then there's things I wish for that the dice just didn't roll in my favor. Mm-hmm. A good set of hair did not roll in my favor. Being tall did not roll in my favor. But you know what rolled in my favor? A great attitude, good communication skills, and a mind for business. So am I going to sit there and worry about all the things I didn't get? No. I'm going to worry about the things that I did get. And those things that I got, I'm going to bust my ass to get where I need to get to. And it's plain and simple. I don't complain about, we talk all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't sit there and go, oh, I'm so stressed out right now and this. I'm dying on the inside. I want you to know, I am dying. Best in the business. I appreciate you, Dylan. He said the award should say best in the business, America.
Absolutely.
America. But it's just what it is, man. It's like, you just can't. You can't sit there and say, I wish I had this, and you're within the rights. You have that ability. It took me realizing this, like, with my diet too. Like, oh, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. And it's like, once I took it seriously and I stopped making excuses and I understood where I'm wrong, that I had a food addiction, and that food addiction was triggered by emotions that I couldn't work through because of whatever, whether they're childhood, whether they're teenage, whether they're as an adult. My weight got as high as it did because of that, because I would complain about it, but I wouldn't do anything for it. And it's like, I had those stomach issues that required me to have surgery on my stomach, and most of those organs came out. But it's like, for somebody to say, oh, well, you lost weight because they did the thing with your stomach. It's like, okay, but other people have done that same surgery, and they've only lost 50, 60 pounds in less than a year. I've lost 230 pounds in 9 months.
Wow.
So What's the difference between us? I took mine seriously.
Right.
I took my life change seriously because I got tired of it. And then I looked in the mirror and said, it's you. You're the problem. You know, and as people, we grow. I may be the best businessman. I'm not saying I am, but I might be the best businessman in the world. But that doesn't mean I don't struggle everywhere else.
Right.
And understanding when you look in that mirror, who are you? Who are you? What are you? And what do you want to be? Right? Mm-hmm. Who am I? I'm a great dad. I'm a loving father. I'm a friend to many. I'm a coach to many. I'm a business advisor to many. I'm in this community. What am I? I was somebody who was struggling with food addiction. And what do I want to do about it? I want to live longer for my kid. I want to live longer for my clients. I want to live longer for my friends. So I got to do something about it. It's just what it is.
And that same thing goes into business, whether if you work for a business, whatever that is.
Right.
So you can't be here complaining if you're not willing to put in any kind of work.
No, exactly. And
I'm going to be transparent right now. You just offered me something on the way here.
In the car.
And your boy is more than willing. You know what I mean? Like, more than willing. I don't mind putting in them hours, losing some sleep. I do not care. I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
You know, to get that income, get that extra income in to help myself and my family. You know what I mean? So I think through you winning this award, you've been able to give some people some amazing gems throughout this show. So we're like at the 47-minute mark right now. So people, that's what I want you guys to do. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. There's more to come. We'll be back here next week, same time on Wednesday. Okay. Also, make sure you guys check out our clients at USCCA.
Yes, our sponsor, not our clients, but he finally got it. Every day he's like,
I apologize.
UCSSA. I'm like, brother, I think you have dyslexia.
I got something going on, man. Maybe it's the grades coming in. Maybe it's the grades. I'm getting old.
You know, I want before we go, I do want to say one thing. Like, I understand putting in hours for a company that's not yours, right? Like, I get it. We did it at the bank. You and I both, who worked at a bank. We busted our ass. We knew we would never own the bank.
Right.
There was always that expectation that my growth is at some point going to stop. Mm-hmm. But you don't ever want to look at something as, I'm going to put in as much time and effort as possible to get to a level so that I can build my resume. Because there's going to be a point where when you are ready to step out of that thing, that hard work was worth it. Did I bust my ass? For years, for almost 10 years, I busted my ass, but I climbed that ladder quickly, and I got to put something behind my name, which was time. Because time is one of those things we can't buy. Time is one of those things we can't get back. Right. So I could sit there and say, I busted my ass, I cried, there were days of emotion, there were days of nonstop work, there were mental health days that I should have taken, but I didn't take. But why did I do it? So I could build my brand, my business. Before I became a business, my business is me. And I got to build it. How do I build it? Putting in time and effort. And when you put in that time and effort and you walk away and you're like, all right, I put in 10 years for somebody else, but those 10 years were worth it because I learned so much, this much stuff. And now I'm going to take that knowledge and nobody can ever take it from me. So if I choose to go work somewhere else, I'm walking in on the table. This is who I am. Who are you? Because this is who I am. And when you choose to do that business, you get that same thing. So for those of you out there who are listening, you're like, I want to put in time, but I'm putting in time for somebody else. Well, is there growth potential? Then put in that time and grow. Get that growth potential. Hit the highest mark you can hit. So at least when you leave, you're not 5 years as a fry cook. You're 5 years as the head chef. Don't limit yourself just because you think there's no way you'll ever own this place. Who cares about that? Because sometimes walking away with a resume, when you end up owning a restaurant, for instance, what's the difference between, I used to work at I was a fry cook for 5 years. I was a head chef for 5 years. There's caliber behind that. There's a big difference. You might be doing the same thing, but there's a caliber behind that. So if you're in your job now and you have aspirations to become something of a business owner later, don't quit now. You put in just as much work as you were going to put in for your business to get to the highest level of what you do so that when you transition out and go to your own place, you take that with you. Those are awards. Those are decorations that you get to walk away with, and nobody can ever take that from you.
That's amazing. You guys just got some gems from the man in the middle. You already know who I am. I'm Kendall, a.k.a. Kendall. This is the man in the middle art.
That's it.
Rated the best.
Number one. And then next year, we're going to aim for it again. That's it. We're not stopping now. Next year, the year after that. That's what it is.
Every year, moving forward. Salute to you, Art.
Appreciate you, brother.
Salute to everybody out there.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We a couple announcements. We have our classes are now up and running on the mitm.services website. If you want to join our Discord channel, we finally have that all situated. Please join our Discord. Go to mitm.services. There's a button there that says join our Discord. We're trying to get it into the description too, so we'll get that in there as well. If you're coming from Man in the Middle, you click Man in the Middle podcast. If you're coming from Parents and Pennies, you click Parents and Pennies podcast. I mean, we're trying to build a community where everybody can grow together and build something together. So I implore you, please join that community, because the more people we have in it, the more that our community can grow. And the more that we grow, the further we get. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We look forward to next week. And that is K-Doze taking us out. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Man in the Middle. If you haven't yet, please consider liking and subscribing to the show. If you can't wait till next episode, follow us on Instagram at MITM Business Consulting and online at mitm.services. There, you can learn more about what we do, how we can help, and the custom services we offer around your personal needs. Until next time, if you'd like to choose the topic we discuss and receive additional services, consider joining our membership program at mitm.services.
Disclaimer. Man in the Middle expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, reliance on, or inability to use this podcast or the information presented in this podcast.
We look forward to you tuning in next time.